Okay, I'm not going to be happy until I have this, but we're going to have to settle for buying this. Luckily, I have at least one quick one to do. I can't even imagine a scenario where you make a golf cart look like this, but I bet it was a good time. I did the windshield. Can I get paid now? I think for this one, we're going to take a top-down approach. Yellow nozzle seems to be good enough for this thing. It's not a very big golf cart, so it shouldn't take long to do. And they even got dirt under the roof. I'm actually impressed. Can it be cleaned? That's another $3 to my empire. I just want a better pressure washer so I can better pressure wash everything else. Just about done. Pretty much just a steering column, and there's an easy $100. We only have $140 more to go before we get the better one. But before I leave...
I'm sorry, I did not see you there. Or there.
And here's how we went through the process. This was a nice quick job. I can't believe this is worth an entire $100. But this house also looks huge, so we're going to see if we can go ahead and do the Mars rover for hopefully some money. And I don't really need a supervisor. Can you not? I'm hoping I can just use a white nozzle for most of this because it's really big and there's going to be a lot of intricate pieces. And I really hope I get paid for fixing these things. Okay, the white nozzle wasn't anywhere near good enough, so I'm going back to the trusty orange one. Do you know how much it would actually cost to get this here and get water there and hose this thing off? I better get paid a fortune.
$1 million.
I've cleaned several of the parts so far and didn't get money for it. So I'm actually going to move on. Because as much as I enjoy pressure washing, I need to make money to be able to buy better pressure washers. That's the whole point. We have to do the driveway too. This is going to take a minute, but that's why we're going to get the better pressure washer. And to start, I'm kind of going to do the parts that are going to get me paid quickly because we only need $140. If I manage to get $140, we can finish with the better pressure washer. That graffiti is really on there. The garage door trim is cleaned. That was $2 whole. Right now, I'm mostly just thinking about all the things I bought so far that I didn't need that would probably make up the difference of that $140. $10 for doing the garage door. That's pretty much the entire house. I'd put this up for sale. Kind of hoping the big white nozzle is enough to do the driveway. Nope. So we'll try the green one because it's the next biggest. And it looks like the green's going to be good enough for at least most of this. And this should be worth a few dollars. I can't believe how bad I'm tryharding a pressure washing game right now, but I'm really enjoying this. I mean, there really is just something satisfying about this. My strategy today basically is going to do most of the area. Because you only have to do like 97% of it, you can leave a few spots like that. It'll get cleaned up in the end automatically. And once you kind of figure out exactly how fast you can go, you can actually move pretty quickly and still do a pretty good job. This is more or less the final strip of the driveway, and I don't know if it's going to let me get away with this or not. Not quite, but I'm pretty sure if I take away a strip like this, yep, there it is, $15 whole for doing the driveway. No, we just gotta find a few more easy things to do for quick money. Well, I'm just gonna do whatever small things I can find, probably windows, door frames, that sort of thing, because that'll be a little bit of easy money. But they're gonna require a little more jet power, so we're going to yellow nozzle. $2 for that window, I'll take it. $3 for the window frame. $5 total for that. The door was worth an entire $5 as well. Luckily these people are rich, so they have 2 doors. And I just realized on something like the door, which is wood, I could probably get away with a green nozzle, which is slightly bigger. Doesn't do maybe quite as nice of a job, but it'll still be good enough for a door. Only $100 left to go. Pretty sure we're going to be able to do this pretty easily. That's another window done. I'll probably move to the upstairs windows, though I think these gutters might actually be considered a separate piece. Then we're going to use our trusty ladder to get onto the roof very safely, as I always am. And then we're going to finish the gutter, hopefully for $10 or something ridiculous. Okay, gutters maybe aren't as easy as I initially thought. Mostly because of this little angle, you got to like sit on the ladder just to get in there. And that's going to eat up a lot of time. But that gutter is done, and that was worth $8. So I'm going to do more of those wherever I can. But not before another window. I'm basically going to do all the accent pieces to this guy's house and then leave it like that. That'll be good enough for him. All the good parts. This window, depending on how much money I get for it, it's probably going to be the quickest. That was $5 for like 5 seconds work. I really like that one. This window up top though has so much grime on it that I actually need to use the super powered nozzle just to get it off. That window was only worth $3. Kind of a waste of time. And this hopefully should be very satisfying to do this last little strip of inside the gutter. And $8 whole. Another window, another $5, so we only have $62 more to earn somehow. I don't remember if the chimney is considered its own piece, but I'm hoping it is. Never mind, it actually goes all the way down to the ground, so this is a big piece. But it might also be very valuable then. Look at this graffiti. Won't come off with that, we gotta use the super nozzle for that. Even then, it's barely coming off. Is the next one stronger? I've got a few of those things. This one feels a little stronger, it's at least more focused in one spot, so now we can take care of those tough graffiti stains. And the yellow nozzle actually has some pretty good range when it comes to the chimney bricks. You can go way up there with that dirt. Okay, and these little pieces were actually considered separate, so I made a little bit of money for those. Want to finish this chimney though. We'll use a newly patented jumping technique to get this done. Okay, it's going to be a little bit harder to finish a chimney. Might need a ladder. This had better be worth a lot of money. It's actually a lot of effort to do this stupid thing. Well, at least on the ladder we can use the orange nozzle again, so that feels pretty good. And while I'm up here, I might as well do the underside of the roof because I know I'm going to forget about it. Wood trim, that was a few dollars, only $23 left to go. I'm going to do this wall. And that includes this top part, which should be worth a bit of money too eventually. So it's basically the same thing. We're going to use the yellow nozzle for anything about that high, and then we can use the white nozzle for the rest. Except for the graffiti, for that we're going to use, I guess, probably the red nozzle. It's slow, but it'll do it. Might just have to get a little closer to it. Yeah, that's going to make a difference. The wooden trim was done and the wall, so we have $9 left to do, and I'm pretty sure this little brick will get me most of the way there. That got me a few more dollars, so what do we do now for the remaining $6? There's a few windows upstairs that I like the look of. These are those nice small straightforward windows that I can just yellow nozzle all the way through, and it's not going to take me very long at all. In fact, we're about 50% of the way done these windows now. We got the glass done, and once they're happy with the frame, which is going to be probably that, one more dollar to go. And there we go. We now have $1,250 to spend on a new washer because we did this to their house. But let's go ahead and buy this for $1,250. You can see all the stat upgrades. It's better for everything except for maybe ingrained and oily. So let's swap to the new one and then we get to work with all our new power. This is going to be fun. So this looks like a pretty dirty wall. We're going to try the white nozzle here. And that's definitely a lot better than it used to be. My old white nozzle would not have been so efficient on this. We're going to be so much more efficient now. I feel like I could probably finish basically this entire house in no time now. We're going to take this up to the roof eventually to see what it can do. Plus we should be able to buy it a few nozzles eventually too that are going to come in handy. Speaking of the roof, let's see if the white nozzle is now good enough for it. Nope, we're going to have some harder ground than that, so we're going to have to use the green one. At least is still pretty big. This new nozzle so far seems to have upgraded me one nozzle. Before I probably would have had to use the orange one here, but now I can use the green one, and that's actually huge time saving. To be fair, I can use the white nozzle for most of the roof. It's just those little stains that are going to be bad, so I'll maybe just come back for them, but I might not even have to. The game might say good enough and pay me anyway. Okay, apparently it also wants me to get the yellow mold and stuff off the roof, so that's whatever, I guess. I'm not sure if this roof is supposed to be one side at a time or all in one, but this is pretty clean, so I'm thinking it's both sides. Otherwise it should let me get away with this. Unless it counts this is the roof too, which it might, because that is under the roof technically. There's this kind of annoying part like under the roof sort of, so you gotta get in there and it's not that easy to do. But I'm pretty sure I got it all, or most of it at least, so we're just going back to white nozzling this side of the house, because this is just very satisfying to me. That small wall was done, I did get paid for it. This trim still needs some help apparently, but I'm probably going to have to get around the side of it. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do this part of the roof using the white nozzle. We can probably do it very quickly. Just need a bit of a stronger nozzle for the big stains, but there's not a lot of those on this part of the roof. Then I guess I'll more or less just work our way downwards from here. And pretty much just white nozzle the big parts and then yellow or green nozzle the smaller parts. I very much like the investment I made on this new nozzle. That was actually worth a lot of money. I didn't see the number, but I'm up to $81. So the roof is done. I shouldn't have to go up there again, so I'm going to do this wall, and we're going to do it all with the white one, because this wood is super easy to do. Okay, this wall might be bigger than it appears, because I feel like I've got it mostly clean, but it's not good enough. But that might also be because of this little strip. Well, since I'm already down here and too lazy to go back up, I'm going to do this little side piece. That's good enough for me. We're going back to the roof. And this one's so small I could pretty much do the whole thing standing in one spot. It's only as I'm finishing this roof right here that I realize I also have to do that pathway. And I'm still not really sure what this wall wants. Like, it's pretty done. There's got to be a part of it I'm just missing because there's not a lot of it left to do. Except of course for this little part down here. This should only really take a minute and it's done. Well, let's do this front walkway then, because this is probably going to be easy money because I think I can white nozzle it. Yeah, so far so good. This is nice and easy, especially with the new washer. The driveway's done. We're up to $164. So I just need to decide what part of this I want to do next. Probably the side of the house. Mostly because I think it's going to be pretty quick and easy overall, because I think I can green nozzle pretty much all of this. Maybe even white nozzle if I'm really lucky. Yep, the white nozzle is going to work, so this actually isn't going to take long at all. Now to do the other side. Yeah, there's a bit of graffiti we might have to take off, but we even got those things done with the white nozzle, so that's pretty impressive. Really like this new pressure washer. Our production went up like 50% just because of it. That nice big wall took very little time, and that's very satisfying. Don't have a lot to do, a little bit on the front and the back porch basically, and a little bit of spots that I missed, probably everywhere really. And things like this porch aren't going to be as annoying anymore because I could probably white nozzle most of it and do a pretty good job because it just gets pretty much everything as I try. Maybe the green nozzle, but either way it's going to be quick. And because I already did a lot of the windows and doors, we're actually a lot closer to done than I initially thought. Okay, everything on the backside except for the stairs now and the deck. Which I could probably all just white nozzle, so that's only going to take like 10 seconds to do.
12 seconds later.
That's very satisfying to look at compared to what it started with. No, it's just this big disaster, but this isn't that bad. Mostly because this white nozzle is probably going to save me a ton of time. Or maybe the green a little bit because this grime on the brick is a little bit stronger. The brick around the garage didn't take long at all. No, just mostly to finish this front face of the house. I can't wait to see how many spots I'm still missing. So we'll start at the top and work our way down because that makes the most sense. That wall went so quick and I can't believe I made $319 already. We're going to be super rich. I think the last part of the roof is going to be kind of that little side or edge of it. And that shouldn't take long to tidy up, again because of our new super washer. Making progress, not much left to do now. These railings are the worst part because there's so many little angles to get in and out of. And whenever I need a break from the tedious spots, I do big faces like this. I'll go back and forth and do the whole roof just to break it up. Because the big wide panels are just so satisfying. We're so close to being done now, I can taste it. Okay, we're very much down to the short strokes now. Just gotta find whatever dirt is left somewhere all over the house apparently. Probably gonna be quite a few spots on a place this big. But at least for this front porch, it's rapidly cleaning up. I could probably just half-ass these stairs and it's gonna say good enough because, yep. At least for the wood part of the stairs. And there's the brick. Now I gotta finish off that wall and then hopefully that's everything. That wall was worth $12. Now look how good this place looks. We obviously missed something somewhere, but that's so much better. I missed driveway edges and wood trims. Oh, it's going to be so hard to find a single wood trim. But I get why the driveway edges are bad because they're kind of low and hard to see. But they're also very easy to rectify. All we got to do is do that. It's going to take so long to find the wood trim that I missed. Like it's going to take longer than doing the entire house. I've circled the house once so far, just spamming tab, hoping to find the dirt that reveals itself. But so far I've got absolutely nothing. Okay, I got really lucky and found it. Luckily it was a spot that I just didn't do at all, so it was very easy to see in the end. $2, this job is complete. And here's how we watch it go. I did the backside for a long time, but eventually I'll kind of swoop around to the front. It wasn't very organized or efficient, but I made it work. So now we have $500 to our name, but we've got a skate park for $900 and a shoe house for $450. So let's take a look at this shoe house. I feel like it's not very big for $450. And it's definitely not. $450 for this is almost a laugh. And while I'm at it, I might even bring some universal cleaner in. But I think to do that, I also need to buy a proper soap nozzle for this thing, and they do get expensive fast. So I'm just going to get the basic one for now, because eventually I'll skip straight to that one anyways. Unless I can't figure out how to make that work, you know what, we're just going to dive into this thing. It can't be that bad. So white nozzle is actually doing quite good on it. So we're going to start with white nozzle, then we're going to go over it with whatever we need after that. This should take absolutely no time at all. And I'm sure a lot of these individual pieces will be worth a lot. Okay, I can see how this part would be awkward, and I guess we probably just don't need to do the roof because it's not really giving us the option to get on the roof. Though I'm kind of committed now, but for now we'll work around that. We're just going to go everywhere else. This has a lot of weird angles and it's going to take a little longer than I initially thought, but it's really not going to be that bad. But since I can, I'm going to buy this, which improves the range, but I can still use things up close. Then I'm also going to buy the soap nozzle because I think that's going to help for this. Now I can get a little more range on everything I do while having no detrimental effect. Even my green nozzle now is enough to take on this like super green moldy stuff that's probably been here forever, so that feels pretty good. Okay, the combination of this washer with this new extension is great because I can wash almost anything from the ground level, especially if I include a little bit of jumping in there. So that's going to make my job extra easier because I can be even lazier. And I really like the way this changes color. It goes from a very rusty color to a nice clean gray. Don't forget about all those little details. There definitely might be a few little annoying details it's going to be hard to get all of on this one, but for the most part it's just big faces and that's easy to wash. It does get a little tricky because these sections act as individual sections and then the boards in between them are individual boards. So you got to be pretty detailed with how you do this. I'm really hoping that once I unlock the next super washer I'm able to use the white nozzle as much as I'm able to use this green one now. Making very good progress on this so far. The top's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm just going to work the outsides right now because I'm in the zone. I feel like doing the front of this is also going to be very satisfying. I could probably just sit here and do this all day. I don't know why, it's just amazingly satisfying. At a glance, it looks like it's almost clean. When I press tab though, it tells me how bad of a job I'm doing. Always wash your banana from top to bottom. Alright, well, I use enough of the green nozzle that it seems to be getting through the shoelaces pretty quickly, so that's pretty nice. It's a little bit harder to get right up in there though. Gonna have to work on my... Oh, no, I got it. Cool. Now all I think I really need to do is somehow finish this bottom and then get the top also somehow. But there's lots of little weird angles you kind of gotta really work to get at in this one. This gray part, the bottom, the sole, was worth $20 all by itself. So close to being done now, I just gotta figure out how to get that little panel. Okay, I guess I could put the ladder here. That would actually make a lot more sense. And I say I can also move a ladder up to the roof. So I'm gonna do that as soon as I'm done these little guys, which should really only take a couple seconds. Kinda wish I knew I could get up here before, because this would have made a lot of things a lot easier. But you know what? Everything's gonna be okay, because I'm pretty sure this roof is about the last thing we have to do. Okay, I got the tricky little chimney, so now all I gotta do is use the green part on the rest of the roof, and I think that should be good enough for me. Just about got this done. Any second now it's going to give me that little ding, then pay me a whole bunch of money. We've already made $274 on this job. And there it is, roof cleaned. Now we're only at 4 stars, so what do we have left? Boot walls. We missed 5 boot walls, 7 of the eyelets, more of the walls. Okay, so we missed pretty much everything everywhere. Wooden tops. Okay, I can actually see the eyelets from here. They're very hard to get into because they're round and you got to get inside and out, but we'll get them. So by wall and wooden tops, it means up here, and is really uncomfortable to get at angle. You've got to like climb up this side of the ladder almost to get in there, and even then it just kind of bounces you around like that. Finally got the wooden top basically by going like this. So now I have still 3 boot walls and then a regular wall, probably up top. Yes, there seems to be a lot of dirt up there still, so I'm not really sure how I want to get that yet, but it's going to be super annoying to do. Kind of getting it to work. Also kind of not. It's really hard to make the washer work in there. So I'm going to use my jumping technique again. The stupid jumping technique actually worked. I just realized I can actually like hover over the wall, and in the upper left it tells you if things still need a bit of cleaning. So that's going to make it easier to find what's missing, which is that one. Wish I'd realized this earlier. Yeah, it's this wall and also that wall. You can actually see the spots right there, and there we go. Job complete. It's beautiful, and also left us with $450 to spend on more crap we don't need.